Morning students. Myself Mr. S. Prasad, Assistant Professor, Mechatronics Engineering, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology, Trichandur. Today we see about the topic of starters under the subject of Basic Electrical and Engineering. First of all, why we need a starter? Starter to limit the high starting current of the AD machine, either DC motor or AC motor. Then function of the starter is start and stop the motor, limit inrush current where necessary. Because when the motor is start, the starting current is very much high. So to limit the starting current, it helps to starter. Permit automatic control when required. Protect motor and other connected equipment from over voltage, no voltage, under voltage, and single phasing, etc. Next, starting of slip ring induction motor. The slip ring induction motor is a three-phase AC motor. It is a very essential motor in day-to-day life. In case of slip ring induction motor, it is possible to add external resistance in a rotor phases as for rotor as three-phase starter connected winding to limit the starting high current. In the three-phase slip ring induction motor to starting the starter to connect the external resistance of the motor to limit the high starting current. This is the one kind of starting method of three-phase slip ring induction motor. It is rotor resistance starter. It is the star connected rotor winding. It is a rotor frame. External star connected rheostat as said before. External rotor resistance, external rheostat, that means resistance will be connected according to that. Brushes to output the current, shaft the rotating part, slip rings, it is the slip ring induction motor. Okay, in a rotor resistance starter, the three terminals of the rotor winding are connected to a variable external resistance through slip rings. The variable external resistance will be either resistor form or rheostat. Full supply voltage is applied across the stator. Resistance are fully in the circuit starting so that starting current is reduced. The external variable resistance is connected in each phase of the rotor. So it not only reduce the current is the starting but increase the starting torque also due to improvement in a power factor. The rotor circuit resistance is gradually cut off as the motor speeds up the during normal running condition. The rotor circuit resistance completely cut out the slip rings or short circuited. Okay. The next one starter is DOL starter. That means direct online starter. One and only starter use both AC supply as well as DC supply. Dual starter. A starter which connected a motor directly across the line is called dual starter. In this method, the motor is connected by means of a starter across the full supply voltage. It is very simple, inexpensive, easy to install and maintain. It consists start button, off button, electromagnetic contactor, overload relay. Switch by the starter is directly from line without provisions to control the starting current. There is no device to reduce starting current in this starter. That means no NVR is available in this dual starter. This is a wiring diagram of dual starter. That is line 1, line 2, line 3. That means 3-phase supply. Main contact. M is represented as a main contact. 3-phase supply have 3 main contacts M1, M2, M3. Okay. Next one is S1. That is starting button. Next one is S2. That means off button. Next one is overload relay coil. Overload relay coil means whenever the motor get an overload, the coil will be energized to protect the motor in the overload conditions. Next, overload relay contact and then magnetic coil. Okay. Next one is operation of the DOL starter. When a start button is pressed, okay, when a start button is pressed, the supply will be going to the coil to the motor. Okay. When C coil is energized, the C coil is energized, it closes the contacts of M. So the supply will be going to that way. M and connects the motor across the line. Okay. Operating coil energized after the finger is removed, start push button. Okay. The push button will be enabled. The supply will be going to the operating coil and to the motor. This is off circuit. That means control circuit. When off button is pressed, when S2 is pressed, the circuit will be opened. Okay, so the supply will be cut off in this region. So C coil is de-energized. The main contacts M are opened. It will be closed in the starting condition, opened in the off condition. The motor disconnected, the motor stops. This is the way to using dual starter. Okay. Basically, there are two types of production in this type of starter. One is under voltage production, another one is overload production. First one is under voltage production. When supply voltage is not sufficient, there is failure of power supply. The coil C is de-energized and motor will be disconnected, because whenever the under voltage condition and the motor will be rotated, the coil will be burned or it caused many damages. So the under voltage production to product the motor in the undervolt condition. Next one is overload production. The motor is protected against overload by the thermal overload relay, which open circuits or control circuit when overload occur. The normally closed contact is opened and the contactor coil C is de-energized to disconnect the motor from the supply. Rate of the temperature is very high, so motor may be damaged if the starting period is large, which may be due to excessive load or excessive voltage drop in the supply lines. Next one is primary resistance starter. Okay, primary resistance starter is uh, and nowadays this kind of starter cannot be used in the wider area. So we see about the advantage and disadvantages alone. The primary starter is high power factor during start, smooth acceleration, less expensive than auto transformer starter in lower output ratings. The close transmission shorting. Disadvantages: heat is given by T by the resistors. Expensive resistors are required because starting duration usually exit 5 seconds. Low torque efficiency. This starter exclusive for small machines only. The another 2 or 3 types of starter will be see in the next session. Thank you. This is signing off Hari Prasad from K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology.